Okay,
Day.
so if you guys,
TXT.
if you guys saw our clip or our video from Sunday, we reacted to Sugar Rush Ride.
Yeah, we did.
Loved it. If you haven't
So
seen that, it's gonna be like in the info card or like
somewhere
the
around here.
description somewhere. Go and watch it because
It's funny.
Jesus Christ.
I was not expecting it. So let's go through this album, Temptation.
Yep.
Let's start with Sugar Rush Ride since we already reacted to it and we
Yeah,
know
so we already kind of talked about it and the video and everything.
It's super interesting. I also did notice. Okay, so this is not like a dig or anything. It's just like something very interesting that I had noticed. So at one part of the song, you remember how I said it sounded familiar, but I don't know where I had heard this particular vocal line? I know where I've heard it. So the producer of Sugar Rush Ride also produces some of Enhypen's songs.
Ah.
Yeah, see
a lot of saying like some of the beat at the beginning reminds them of a Pitbull song.
Really?
Yeah, I think I had the TikTok.
What? Pitbull? What? So the one line that I'm thinking of is let me just,
I think I send it to Kat and Tanya. That's usually what happens.
Okay, so the producer who produced Drunk Dazed also produced Sugar Rush Ride. And there's like one particular part of that song, and the same with Drunk Dazed from Enhypen that sounds very similar. Not the exact same because the beats are a little bit different, but it's just like well, how do I explain it? It's like da 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 da. That's that part. It's exactly the same. And I was like, amazing. I can't believe it.
I'm trying to make sure it's the right one. Yeah, I found it. I'm gonna. But anyway,
that's like a little like tidbit that I found very interesting. That like a lot of producers have a very they have like a signature that they attach to a lot of their like, music, because it's just, you know, it makes sense when you're producing so much music at the same time. It's like some of it is gonna sound like a little bit similar. But Sugar Rush Ride as its entirety, it's amazing.
It's so good.
It's so good. And I'm really interested to hear your thoughts about the rest of the album because I have some thoughts.
First and foremost, I want to know which one is your favorite.
Okay. So I love Sugar Rush Ride, but my favorite off the album, I think, is Devil by the Window. Are you surprised?
No.
No.
Also, you know it's a full English song, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't pull a magic again this time.
At first, I was like, I know all these lyrics, but why? Same. And I was like, oh, it's all in English.
We pulled the magic again.
Every time.
Can you guess which one is my favorite?
Wanna Be a Rock.
Farewell Neverland.
Oh, that was gonna be my second guess. I should have guessed that.
Wanna Be a Rock is really good though.
It's really good.
I mean, it's all good. The whole thing.
It's all good. I would say, yeah, like for me, I think it's Devil by the Window, Wanna Be a Rock, Sugar Rush Ride, Farewell Neverland, Happy Fools.
Yeah, for me, it's Farewell Neverland, Sugar Rush Ride, Devil by the Window, Wanna Be a Rock, and Happy Fools. Yeah,
so Happy Fools.
It's just like you gotta be like in a very specific kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's very poppy, which I think is held together by the featured artist that they have on here. She also did the song.
She's really like a very good artist. Like
very good, like talented for sure. They did another song with her. Me or the PS5, I think, was the other song that they did with her. I'm pretty sure.
It was not.
It wasn't?
Nope.
What was the other song?
PS5 was with Salem Elise, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. I listened to that song too much now. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I think it's actually probably I think it's their first time collaborating with her.
Her voice just
I mean,
sounds so familiar.
they have like Salem and Koi have like very similar voices.
Yeah, they're very
Yes.
similar. Happy Fools, you know, it's a nice interlude in the middle of this album for sure, because it kind of like resets the tone for the next two songs that are coming.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just not my favorite. I feel like there are better TXT songs in my opinion, and better ones on this album. That's why I kind of put it in fifth, because it's still good and it's still like they're still amazing.
Yeah,
but
I still enjoy it
just
a lot. It's just like the other ones are better in my opinion.
the other ones are just better. Wanna Be a Rock is a very interesting song. It's
well,
like
also the title
different.
itself, like tinnitus is like when your sound is kind of like your ear and your kind of like that buzzing sound.
Yeah, that like ringing or buzzing sound that you have in your ear.
And then Wanna Be a Rock. Did you see the TikTok?
I did. It's so funny.
They just realized Yoongi's old dream, yo.
It is. It's a very like interesting musically sounding song. I was really not expecting it to sound the way that it does.
Yo, apparently they took their shirt off mid-recording for that one, just to get the relaxing vibes. That's what Tay said.
Tay, why? Why would you tell me that?
That's what Tay said, yeah.
Why would you tell me that information? I don't listen. I want to know, but I also don't want to know, because now when I listen to that song, I'm going to be picturing all of you with your shirts off, and I don't know if I can handle that. Genuinely. What the hell? No.
And apparently it's Taehyun that proposed the idea.
Yeah, of course it was.
It was like, just take your shirt off.
Of course it was. You'll feel more relaxed.
You'll feel like more at home, which means you'll feel like more relaxed.
I genuinely can't.
You'll feel like on the beach.
No. The answer to that is no. I really enjoy the vibe of that song. I'm trying to it reminds me of something, but I can't really put my finger on.
It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, it's almost, okay, this is going to be a weird comparison, but it kind of reminds me of like a Studio Ghibli sounding like soundtrack song.
Okay.
In some parts, like it has this like fluty accents to it. Mm-hmm. Like the instrumental is very interesting. I can't put my finger on like what it is, but it reminds me of something. I can't put my finger on it. Yeah.
I get you.
Farewell Neverland. Oof. Yeah, that's
I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly what it is that made it my favorite, at least at the moment. I don't know. It just kind of like struck me, stuck with me. Mm-hmm. It just really has like that nostalgic kind of sad feeling about it.
Yes.
Which is very much how I've been feeling recently.
It's very nostalgic, and it's sad, but there's also this like undertone of like
something's coming, finished, yeah, exactly,
and then something is like continuing on, you know what I mean? Like it's something has finished, it's sad, but we're moving on towards something else.
That's why it's just like the perfect way to end that EP.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, especially because there's only 5 songs on this EP.
Yeah.
So I think their like next full length album will be
like Devil by the Window was like the best way to start it, because it really gives you like that descent into madness from like the Bar Gone Bad. Yes. And then like as we said for Sugar Rush Ride, you're like you've been through like the bad side, and now you're kind of going through this high of being like liberated from it.
Yes.
And then you're just like slowly like going through and then just finishing that chapter with like Farewell Neverland.
This feels like the like 5 stages of grief.
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, it feels like 5 stages of grief in an album, with the ending being acceptance, obviously. And I think that there's something really beautiful about that, because you can, as once you've accepted something, like we talked about earlier, accepting the past and then moving on from it, never forgetting it, but allowing yourself to carry on. Uh, it's a very important thing, and I think for TXT especially, because it feels like they're moving into a different chapter of their music. And to have like a short EP here that has this like really like a love letter to their past, is really beautiful.
Yeah, also what I really like with like TXT's music is, as a technically like oldest Gen Z out
Hmm.
there, like one of their like objective is to like represent this generation through their music.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel so connected to their music and what they're portraying. And I'm not saying like other generations or like any other people cannot like connect to it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like a particular like, we know like this like how this generation's been feeling kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I feel like very connected to their music, and like this album like hit pretty hard emotion wise for that
Yeah. Yeah.
reason.
For sure. That's why I think like musically these songs don't necessarily connect together, because it's not
Hmm.
like they don't have
It's
the
really like
same
the message
tone.
they're portraying through it
Yeah.
though.
But I think it still fits together because of that like comparison to like the 5 stages of grief. Like
Yeah,
all of those are
that's
completely different,
brilliant though.
but thank you.
I'm just gonna say
Thank you.
it.
But they fit together so well. Like it it's connected by the main theme of what this album is trying to do. And I think like Temptation is such an interesting title for that, because it's like, there's so many things you could interpret from that. Tempting fate.
Hmm.
You're tempted by like, I don't know, like the seven deadly sins, for example, like lust
Well,
or
yeah, and there's
gluttony or
like the whole
anger.
like going through like you're beaten down and broken, and then like the first like ray of light, whatever that is for someone, it's just like
Mm,
that's the thing that's tempting you, and it's not is like always a good thing.
it's not always
Sometimes
a
it
good
is,
thing.
sometimes it's
Yeah.
not. So
Yeah. Yeah. No,
it's
I
really
think,
interesting, and I love this EP
yeah.
so much.
It's really good. It's really,
It's
really
so
good.
different, but it's so good. Like the last
Yeah.
two EPs, even like the last full length album, like it's been very different from TXT, and I'm loving it.
Yes. I
I
love the
makes sense.
expansion
Like
of
I'm just like, oh my god, my words. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just love this expansion of like not just like talent, because we already know how talented they are. They are, we've seen how talented they are through their music and performances and
TXT.
TXT. But I also think it's like a growth for them as well, because of the fact that they're like still in their like 20s. It's like a huge time for growth. And the fact that, they're allowed to experiment with these different types of music and are just like trying all of these new like genres and musical tones and musicality and lyrics, and like they're just experimenting with all this stuff, and I absolutely
Mhm.
love it. It gives us so much variety, but it's still Tomorrow by Together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, Unicare is turning 21 this year.
The boy is coming up. Let's go.
But like he's born in 2002 and we're 2023, so like easy math here.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
specs.
Especially since the Korean government is not going to be doing Korean age anymore.
Oh
So
yeah. I don't know when that takes effect, but
sometime this year.
cool.
I've heard the month somewhere. I just don't remember. I just don't remember. Oh, last side note. Did you see the news about Team Kip Sokjin winning the talent show in the military?
Of course, because yeah, of course he would win.
Apparently, Jin taught his teammates for the talent show like some dance moves and stuff, and they won. So they all like they got like a mini vacation.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I love
I
that
was
for
like,
him.
of course Team Keep Seongshin would win.
Obviously, he's the choreo god at this point. Like, we've seen that run episode.
I really want to, like, it's what if they did Spinebreaker, dude? Can you
Listen, men in uniforms plus men in uniforms dancing
Spinebreaker though?
plus or Betsy.
And when the best moment is yet to come,